Welcome, world. This is episode 7 of Concrete and Blossom Podcast. Yep, we're still creating change through our conversations. I'm your creator and host, Dawn the Doll, and in this episode, we plant the seed. Social media is a hell of a drug. From parenting to bullying to business, some friends and I take a deep dive into some of the notions and realities of social media. You'll hear the voices of the infamous Mr. D713, one half of Everything Culture Podcast, that's everything with an A, Brittany Ford, owner of iTeachWeTeach, also co-owner of Greek Squad Apparel, and Mic Perkins of OAL, Opinions Are Like, the podcast. Let's talk about it. Dawn the Doll delivers. Well, good evening. And look at you, on time.
Brittany be late.
No,
okay, Brittany
you.
Be like that. I was late one time, and I apologize for that.
It was only once, correct. It was only once.
Spending some quality time with the boo.
Of course. That was a good reason too. That was an absolute great reason to be tardy to the party.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
No, but we made it up, right? We made it all worth it.
Man, that was so great. And we're going to continue, as you can see, tonight, still talking about social media. So I have a fellow educator in the building.
Whoop, whoop.
Yes.
What's up, Brittany?
Brittany, this is my line sister and friend, Brittany. She is a Houston-based educator. This is a...
No, okay, God, I was about to talk. We could chat. Well, go ahead.
But so this is a now new friend of mine, Brandon of Everything Culture Podcast, Everything with an A. Go follow him, especially on your business pages. Make sure you go follow his podcast page and everything. They're super legit, super dope. They have a
cool
podcast.
Yeah, and a little bit, we've been doing our podcast for almost a year and a half now. Started February 2019. Our podcast is about cultures, backgrounds, traditions. We try to bring in different guests on different episodes, and we try to get to know a little bit of a deep dive about them. Then we talk about different topics, what's going on in history, or we talk about what's going on right now. And but main part why we do the deep dive is a reason why we think the way we think, and it comes from our culture. So we going like, why do you vote the way you vote? Why do you like the music you like? Who put you on rap music? Who put you on screw? Can you remember these things? Or you wasn't just born thinking these ways? What impacted you in your life that brought you to this realization? Or you may not even realize it yet. Like Dawn was in there with the Sunday. We do a stream every Sunday. You should check us out on that stream. We have a lot of fun. But we have one of our friends that I would consider all our people friends. Look at her looking at share screen. I see it. But like she was really talking about how she learned. Well, she didn't learn. Like on our episode, she said she considered herself Central. She's from Central America, and she's El Salvadorian, and she always considered herself a dark-skinned El Salvadorian. And she was like, how family used to tease her, call her like basically little Negro girl. And when she said when we said you thought you she looked like Dawn almost, her skin complexion, and we would have thought you were just a mixed black girl or something like that. She's like, no. But through our conversation, like my homeboy like texted me like, nah, she black. Like her daddy gotta be black. And she let her own, and she said that, like, my daddy would be considered Afro Latino. And like, but she still didn't own up to it until later on, like after she listened to the episode. Hell, I'm black too. I was like, yeah, baby, you black. But it's a beautiful thing what we do. So and Dawn been down with us for the past 3 weeks now. Has it been 3 weeks already or so?
Damn.
And we're gonna do a lot more collaborations.
I'm when you're having fun.
Oh yeah, see, and we'll do a lot more collaborations. I see a lot of positivity coming from that.
I see you got your drink ready. Okay. Oh, we got fruit again.
No fruit today.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw some fruit in there.
A little Douce, we got ice today. I wasn't able to really ice my liquor like I would like to. So this is basically Douce and Chick-fil-A lemonade. Very specific. Okay. Change your life.
Okay. I'm on a Chick-fil-A
fan. Me too.
I forgot about that. I'm sorry, y'all. I just went and got the lemonade. Then man, if you find somebody else with Chick-fil-A lemonade, I'm like, I buy like the gallon.
Oh, and you know what? This is a great time. I'm glad you mentioned that because I would like to shout out the first official food partner. And I'm just speaking this into existence. Let me just make a disclaimer. This has not been discussed and signed with this establishment, but I have to shout them out right now. So I'm based in Dallas, Texas right now. And Smokey John's here. I'm going to show it just in case we go live. You know what I'm saying? This Smokey John's barbecue. They have this
free publicity,
motherfucking brisket queso that will change your entire life. I swear to God. And my line sister know how picky I am, right? Like
entire life?
Your entire life, everything you think about it. And I'm like extremely picky.
Like preference? Okay, go ahead. I'm hearing it.
But this lemonade that they have, oh my gosh. The lemonade. And then if you get it with like their sweet tea or unsweet tea, either way, it's like still really great. Like it's a great, if you in Dallas, Texas, you have to stop by on Thursday or Saturday for sure for the goddamn brisket. First of all, y'all see the way I had to slow down because right now I'm getting so excited thinking about how I already promised somebody I would take them on Thursday. Right? So I got like a day and
like I don't know how long, I wish the best to them, but I'm like, just be careful, just take one time to get food poisoning and it's a wrap. Is it black owned?
It is black owned.
Okay, then you ain't gonna get food poisoning then. You're gonna be fine.
All my dollars black.
Your dollar's green. But go ahead.
You know what I mean.
I know what you mean. mean. So I'm peeping this little photograph you got right here.
You like it?
And, I'm seeing which ones I like to pop.
Okay.
What I like to dabble in from time to time.
I would like all of y'all to choose your pill. I'm waiting on like a couple more people.
We gotta choose. We gotta choose one pill?
Mic and Vince and Perkins.
Yeah.
Join us.
Okay, what's up?
And I have a couple of other people that said they might join, but I
know how we roll. See, I'm on time tonight, so it's cool.
On time, and we could just get it going,
See, I know, and people join when they join. But I'm like, all of these are not social media.
Not all of them are. In a way, which ones aren't?
So we have Uber, we have Venmo, we have Google. Well, that could be used interchangeably.
Yeah.
We have Photoshop.
Venmo is when I looked at Venmo, like first of all, I only did like maybe 2 transactions my entire life on Venmo. But
I'm blocked from Venmo. Go ahead.
You're blocked on Venmo. How does one get blocked from Venmo?
Finish your story and I'll start mine. How about that?
I was just gonna say that I thought that it had like other stuff on there, like you can chat and stuff on there. Like
I don't think so. It's basically messy first and foremost. And that's how it is. It's like basically with Venmo, my situation, I'm a Cash App dude. I'm a Zelle, Cash App, Square, and what's the other one? Oh my God!
See, that's too many right there.
I like to use my money interchangeably. Okay, I like to make it move and groove. But Venmo, like I had a Venmo account because I used to do fantasy football and people pay me money, blah blah blah. Running that shit, and it was like I never used the account. I had the app and all that. Didn't really fuck with it. And this is like last year or so. Somebody sent me, like, myself is Mr. D713 almost through and through. Some guy, like, my homeboy hit me up talking about some guy looking for you, talking about he Venmo'd you some money accidentally. I'm like, what the fuck? So I looked and somebody Venmo'd me like $400. Okay. So I'm like, oh, okay. He was like, I saw the messages. He been trying to hit me up, but I don't have notifications on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I be putting stuff in my block. If it's something I don't use frequently, I don't want to be alerted by. I don't want to be distracted. And we could talk about that during this episode too. But because that's how I control social media. Social media don't control me. But it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, dude, I see a message, I see him, because that's one thing with Venmo. Venmo can see your friends. Venmo can see who you send money with. Yeah, Brittany, that's what I'm saying. I don't like that little messy shit. Yes, they can see, and I got a lot of asshole friends of all ethnicities, and they like, thanks for the lap dance and send me some money or some shit like that. And everybody on Venmo can see that shit. You can't.
But can't Cash App do the same thing? Like, I don't get it.
No, other people can't see. I can.
So you mean like I could see what you send Brittany?
So if Brittany sent you some money, I can see how much money she sent you and why she sent it to you.
Oh, hell no. No,
that's
real?
Man, what you see? Look at you. Don't know what you're talking
about.
That's
why I said that to me. That's a form of social media where everybody can just see everybody's business.
And that's why I didn't like it. But the thing about it, he hit my people up and shit. And I'm like, dude, no problem. Like he said, well, can you just send me the money back? I'm like, nigga, I ain't sending you shit back. Like we can dispute it, and I would contact Venmo too, so they can return your money. But this shit like some scam shit, bro. And how the fuck you sending it to your bitch? And my name Mr. D713. What's her whole name, nigga? Like that don't like our names don't in not in comparison. So it's like, nah, I ain't going with that shit. I'm like, nah, and Venmo talking to them, like this motherfucker start talking shit, start hitting up on all my friends and shit. I let Venmo know, like, if I gotta really track this shit, y'all got a problem with your account, deal with the shit. They said, no, they end up blocking my ass. I'm like, what? You know, I said, I ain't gonna go fight the shit. Fuck y'all niggas. I don't use y'all bitches anyway. And people were like, do you have Venmo? Zelle me the money then. Because you really, as being
so fuck Venmo is the moral of this story.
Really, we shouldn't be using Cash App either. You really should be using Square and you should be using Zelle.
What's the problem with Cash App?
If you have a business, you should, and that's kind of what I've been doing. Everything with everything culture, I've been sending. I make my transactions to Cash App, but you really should be doing it through Square. Square and Cash App are together. Square is the grandfather.
I use for my business, Square for my personal Cash App.
Yeah, I've been doing it the opposite. So I need to switch it. I really need to. I got some business to do for everything culture. Get these shirts and finally getting printed and put out, and I'm trying to do a little bit more merchandise and things. Well,
listen, I also co-own a apparel company. So if you ever need screen printing, embroidery, other promotional items, absolutely reach out to me. The business is the Greek Squad.
The Greek Squad?
Yep. Check out our website.
Check out our Instagram,
Facebook, all that.
Okay. We'll chat some prices and things because I just dropped like $700 on shirts and shit. Just shirts. So yeah, I like a everything culture shirt. You know, check us out. How to live.
Sure thing.
Hey, welcome, Mike.
What's up, Mike? Woo. Yeah, but fuck Venmo though.
Venmo.
Then you got Apple.
On social media, but I mean, Apple. Okay. So first of all, let me just say this. First of all, it's so ironic how the universe works for me because I actually took. I'm gonna quote you guys when I actually took this picture.
Oh, this is you?
No. Well, when I got a hold of the picture.
When you screenshot it.
Yes, when I screenshotted it, it was back in 2017. So I had no clue that 3 years later, it would be so relevant to me. But it spoke to me then. I screenshotted it. I had a lot to say about the picture back then. It probably got looked over on whatever I probably posted it on or reposted it on. So that's fine. But yeah. Mike, can you hear us?
I think he can hear us. And I don't know if he's trying to pull his phone off mute. Yeah. But his phone's not on mute, though.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Oh. He refreshed.
That's cool. So, yes. So Mike of Mic Perkins. So y'all's podcast, I mean, we can make sure to get this part off of there. But once you come in, I need you to let me know what platforms you're on because when I click your link, I don't know if it's me over here or what. So, Brittany, have you chosen which ones you indulge in?
Yes.
Which vices?
Yes, I chose mine, yes.
I know you, so.
Look at me. What I pick?
Instagram. I don't even know her. She picked Instagram.
That's like number one. That's like over there, like by itself, like not even touching any of the other.
Nah. Twitter. That little bird, baby. That little bird.
I don't like Twitter.
Y'all don't like to read. I'm surprised. I don't like to read.
No, Twitter came out when I was in college, and so I remember we used to do stuff like the Greek draft on Twitter and Twitter exposed and all of that. So it was cool back then when I had a large personal network.
Hey, now that shit is whack now. No, that shit still happens. I hate that. That shit is just expanded. Like, you were probably the originators of Black Twitter and shit. Like,
yes, we started Black Twitter.
And I'm there for all the other wrong. I was there for the raunchy shit, and I'm like, I can't be clowning with you kids no more. I'm like, I got a life, I got a structure, I got a base now, I got a foundation. But it was like, we still talk shit. Like, someone made a comment on Twitter the other day, and I retweeted because the Everything Culture page, it's like we still like it. We just hit 200 followers, and someone made a comment, and I absolutely agree with it because I said it before. Like, you ain't got at least about 500 easy followers. You basically talking to yourself on that. But and I can say I can say I make a tweet and I know that hoe can hit, but I could put that on my other account and that shit go pop off. This one, because I ain't got a lot of people on there, and I'm just going through the motions right now. Let's keep going.
Twitter more fun though.
Twitter lit, man. I love that shit.
Oh, what's up, Mike? You got audio.
I know, man. I've never done this on my phone, so I didn't know what I was doing. Figure it out though.
Man, Tumblr used to be my shit too. You don't have a Tumblr pill on here either.
Tumblr what?
Tumblr. What's Instagram? Tumblr is a real blog. Tumblr is a real blog.
Tumblr is very reminiscent to me of Pinterest.
Yeah. It's like I would say Tumblr is like perfect between Instagram and Twitter, because when you get it going, Tumblr used to be the shit until Yahoo bought that shit and fucked the whole game off, man. Whole game off.
I've never had Tumblr. Like, I remember it being sort of blog-ish.
Mm-hmm. It's a good read. Tumblr is made for a good read on the go, in my opinion.
No.
I used to get stuck on Tumblr. I'd be on that all day.
What about Reddit? Does Tumblr remind y'all of Reddit?
Man, I can't fuck with Reddit yet. I can't. But right here, Reddit's the shit though.
Reddit is messy as fuck. Reddit is messy as fuck. People be on Reddit like going ham on stuff, like all the way in, like saying what they want to fucking say.
Yeah, that's how Tumblr was.
Well, maybe I'm behind the curve, but what is Reddit?
It's like I don't want to like pigeonhole it and say it's like a conspiracy theory stuff, but it's very conspiracy theory.
You got it. I think you said it very well.
That's spot on.
That's why I found out though that what's the guy? The guy from Empire. That's where like Reddit had it first. That
Juicy
Smollett. What's the guy from Empire?
Come on, man.
Jesse Smollett. Like, that's where I found out that he wasn't. That didn't actually happen. Like, that's like I first saw it there, and then the actual story of everything came out. I was like, oh crap!
So that's how Twitter is.
But that's the thing. Like, that was my first introduction to that, and then Twitter is so quick that Twitter had it. Like, I tell my brother all the time, like, as far as like what's quickest, so it's Twitter is first.
Twitter's always going to get it first. Hands down, Twitter. That's the news. The news get their shit from Twitter.
Then maybe
true.
Facebook and Instagram, I don't know, but like Twitter always gets it first. So
Facebook and Instagram, the same one.
Information, whatever, you're gonna get it from Twitter. Twitter is king.
I guess I'm gonna try to get on Twitter. I don't know. So first of all, I will always say and remind that I haven't been on Facebook in like 5 years. So Facebook by itself is so overwhelming for me right now. Like, I'm trying my best. It's like homework that I have to like stay up and like focus on at night to like even like get a post together of the way that I would want to present it, because it's just too many bells and whistles. It's like, damn, I know I was late in college signing up for Facebook because I thought it was for like thirsty ass chicks. I automatically, as soon as it came out,
Facebook.
Yeah,
that's how I feel about Instagram.
Nah, initially Facebook was for college. Like you had to be in college to have it.
Correct.
So, but yeah, it was very, very. It wasn't thirst. It wasn't all thirst, but it was some thirst going on. It was.
Isn't there thirst everywhere? You could be on LinkedIn. It could be some thirst.
True. Yeah. True. That's always fun.
So is LinkedIn social media, right?
Oh yeah, it highly is hot social media. Yeah. It's networking, and that's social media within itself.
Yeah.
Like if you have any kind of I don't know, even a podcast, like you should go there, but make sure that it's different formats that you have to do for every social media platform. So Instagram, of course, is not the same as Twitter. It's not the same as Facebook, and so on and so forth. LinkedIn is just another different one. Mm-hmm. But if you play it right, LinkedIn is untapped because it doesn't have the algorithm is still very organic.
Mm-hmm.
It still has an organic reach.
And Mike, when I tell you, I was talking about doing a LinkedIn for hours, because hours, we're vulgar, but we talk about some deep shit. But we talk about some shit with all like business and all that. And I was telling my producer, co-host, that man, we may need to go through our old episodes and like kind of blurt out basically fuck. Anything else, I don't care. But the hard shit, I curse a lot. But I'm like, I would love to put out shit on LinkedIn. I love cursing. I do too, but and I'm torn. I've always been torn. Like, I got my professional side and I have my very unprofessional side.
Hold on, not unprofessional. Let's use our words wisely. You have your professional side and you have your personal side.
Cause sometimes I'm even personally, I wouldn't act like I wouldn't say that around everybody personally either. So I would say my very vulgar side still, my id. Let's say that. But at the end of the day, it's like I want to put it on LinkedIn because I know we can get a great audience for it. But if you listen, like the episode you listened to, Don, the abortion episode.
Oh, that one had a lot of it. And again, I was so confused. If y'all go back, shout out to Everything Culture Podcast. If y'all go back to episode number 10, Choices, there is so many ding-dongs in there. And I was so confused because I kept saying, damn, they got a lot of people joining, but then it was just the same voices. And I was like, oh, shit, it's because she must be saying something real off the wall. Like,
it was something very vulgar. And I was like, come on, chill out.
Okay.
And that's the only reason we usually don't blur stuff out. But, one day we may want to, one day we are monetized, but we want to get a little bit more. Disney may want to pick us up. You never know. But we got to be who we are.
Yeah, I find too, like, I don't do a lot of cursing in my regular life. And not to say like I'm super like PG or clean or nothing like that, because I'm not. But I don't do a lot of cursing in my regular life, so it doesn't really make it to my podcast. It doesn't make it to it. So I'm just like I listen to myself. Like the last one I just recorded, I don't think I cursed once, but it's just it's just the nature of it. It's like, well, kind of. Guy that I just won't be that kind of guy because I'm just not that kind of guy. I'd rather be as close to me as possible. But if you do curse, and I would suggest you not just go to spaces where you can express yourself the way you want. Because see, the thing is that I always find that you never want to edit yourself, especially not in this day and age, because anything can make it.
And that's I agree with you.
Anything is possible. Anything can make it. Like Disney is billions of dollars, but it's not the only billions of dollars, what I mean? Like there's other stuff, what I mean? So I wouldn't edit myself because I wouldn't want to get in that habit of having to edit myself.
You're right. And that's kind of where we've been at, because it was one episode we're doing exceptionally well. I know I didn't curse all the way through. Then right like 58 minutes in, you know what, motherfucker. Like, and I'm like, what was the point of even saying that? I listened to it, I dropped it. And it was something crazy saying, but I agree. Because even when I started, And we talking about these pills, like Snapchat used to be when I used to pop. That used to be my baby. Snapchat came out because I didn't do Instagram until we started doing the podcast. You know,
I was never good at Snapchat.
Snapchat, I like telling stories and shit. Like I used to have like a story time.
Instagram took Snapchat's shine.
I know, you bitch ass motherfucker.
Once I figured out how to do stories on Instagram, I was done with Snapchat.
But the thing about it is like Instagram is not, if I started putting my story times on Instagram, people, because my story times can go like 50 snaps. I'm very energetic, I'm very detailed, and you know, I'm a good storyteller. What I said, you know, I've had mucho followers, but like Brittany said, when Instagram picked that shit up, everybody like, come to Instagram. I don't fuck with Instagram like that. So I kept saying I'm gonna try to go to Instagram, and I really don't mess with my personal account. I mess with my Everything Culture account.
Yeah, IG is fun, man. IG is fun as well. You know, it depends on what kind of content you putting out. Like you have to put out content that's catered to Instagram. So like if you have like clips
Pictures.
of
shallow shit.
But this is the thing. But if you have, it's not shallow. But if you have clips of you actually recording your podcast, but that would be the place to put it. You know what I'm saying? That would be the place to put it. If you want to make it in word form, where you're putting your podcast up, and it's 30 seconds of something, and you're putting your, you know, the words that you say because this part is one of the bigger points of your podcast. Then you can put that up there as well. It's like, but you have to format all pieces of content in the form of what it's about. Like, okay, this is Twitter. Twitter is about words. So you have to quote yourself on the podcast and then put your podcast on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or like form a question or something like that.
Yeah, put a video up there, but have what the main point of the video is about. You know, it's just about format. And then you're all, like, you could take one piece, one video, and create like 6, 7, 10, even 15 like posts or pieces of content from that piece, just because you formatted it differently for different, you know, for different platforms. You know what I'm saying? So it's all like they're all easy to use. I mean, you know, the kids use it, like, you know, like literal 12-year-olds using it. So they're all very user friendly. You just gotta be like, I think sometimes people get very romantic about the platform that they use. So like if you blew up on Facebook, you're like, okay, I'm just gonna use Facebook because Facebook works for me. You know, but you can't romanticize, because eventually what happens is, like, the Snapchat people who fell in love with Snapchat, now what are they doing? You know, they got to do something else. You know what I mean?
Like
and you
TikTok.
have to make sure.
TikTok is a perfect
That's
example.
definitely how I am with Instagram, because when I finally got on the Instagram, it was like, okay, at first I thought Instagram was dumb because I'm like, oh, it's just pictures. But then it was like just pictures and then the comments, and then they came out with the video, and now the whole streaming live and all that. So, but it was, for me, I felt like Instagram had a very good timeline of their evolution and how they rolled their stuff out. Like with Snapchat and how they, like, kind of like you said, be like how they took their shine and stuff, like that was spot on. But I think that they did it in such a smart way. That's why, like, even till now, like, that's one of, like, the biggest ways. Like, man, the only thing that Facebook has is, like, still the old people, though. Like, old people not getting on, like, Instagram and Snapchat and shit. Like, they're gonna stay on Facebook.
No, they get on Instagram, because the thing about, you know, Instagram, Facebook owns Instagram, so you have a Facebook account, you automatically have an Instagram account too.
Oh, yeah, because my whole
I mean, that's not how it works, but it's still. Was she talking?
I did. I was telling Dawn, because my old ass mom is on Instagram. I'm trying to send me a request. So yeah.
Shout out to Mama Helen. Mama Helen, follow me on Instagram. I didn't know you was on there, fool. Follow me at Concrete and Blossom Podcast.
What's her at?
What's her at? Wow, nah, but
I don't even know. Like I said, we're not even friends. She's still in the request box. I don't have the mark to climb.
You know what? See, that's how you know it's a drug, because you don't want your parents to know what you're doing on them, or you don't want your parents in your business.
You on there? You on there bad, aren't you? You on there bad?
No. But still, stay in your lane. Facebook is the old people lane. Instagram is the young people lane. Yeah, and TikTok is for the next generation. Like,
I'm on all that shit.
You would think that, but the thing about it is that Facebook is only for older people because the people who were in college when it came out grew up. So it's been 20 years. It's been 20 years. So now we're older, and that's it. That's the only thing that happened. What happens is, though, is that it always redoes itself because platforms are not age specific. Like, they're not age specific. It really just matters when it came out and who. So the people who do Instagram are now, like it's people who we grew up on. Like, like still the rappers and the people that we grew up on, they're still on Instagram, by the way.
Commercial break pause with Concrete and Blossom Podcast. What up, everyone? It's Dawn the Doll, creator and host of Concrete and Blossom Podcast. And if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. It's everything you need in one place. It's free. You record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will then distribute it for you on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. Make money with no minimum listenership required. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And don't forget to subscribe to Concrete and Blossom Podcast on all listening platforms.
So it's never age specific. It's maybe generation specific, but eventually those people just get old. But it's gonna reinvent itself because it just does. I mean, I don't think Facebook is gonna allow itself to die out because people got older.
I have a question.
See,
I have
the
such
thing
a
about with
question.
Facebook, the thing about with Facebook, you do have some. I got like 80-year-old people on my Facebook account. There's some old folks on Facebook, and they be sending me these chain messages all the damn time. But
the damn old people in the chain messages, I can't even get with that. Like,
that's just too much.
I have a question for y'all. This is a really, I need y'all to put some thought into this, okay? I want honest answers. Okay? Do y'all remember when social media was on a landline in the chat rooms? Y'all don't remember that? Y'all didn't have chat rooms where y'all was from?
You talking about AIM?
Where you call in.
You call the chat line and you recorded your little greeting
your thing,
whatever,
and then you could go into the room.
Yeah, you could talk to people. Yes, I remember
that wasn't social media though.
It was kinda.
That wasn't social media. You couldn't do no everything. Advertising is a big part of social media, unfortunately. It's how to keep
but that's modern day. But that's what I'm saying. It was kind of low key like a social media for back then because people use it for the exact same shit.
Because you can go to the skating rink, that's social media. You can go on,
So define
that's social, but there's no media involved in it.
Then how's the phone media?
Because your social media, by my definition, is just the ability to engage with people remotely. So you can do that using a form of media, which a telephone is a form of a media outlet. So being able to engage with somebody socially through a media outlet makes it social media, in my opinion.
Yeah, but your phone is not a platform, though.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I see where you're coming from, but nah.
No, the chat line itself was the platform. They had everybody had to be calling the same number. It wasn't like a random number. We knew the number to the chat line, the name of it, but it was a thing. It was a form.
Okay. It was like a platform. It was like a huge thing. It was like a standard number where people could call in and you could go in there every day at the same time and meet with the same people and shit low key
So is the newspaper social media? Do y'all consider that?
That's not direct, you know what I mean? Like a phone, you were talking to the person right then and there. The same as Instagram, you're talking to them right then and there, and Twitter.
I don't consider, and that's what I say, I don't consider a phone media. I consider anything printed or stored to be media, because the thing about it, if you say Yahoo Chat, that's social media, and actually that may not be because it's you're in a chat room. You could take it there.
Well, again, I'm just saying, for me, that's what I think about of how it's transitioned over time to first, this is how people were meeting and socializing and getting to know strangers. And, oh, I meet you in the chat room, and then we meet up at the skating rink. Like, legit, that was happening. So it's it's just evolved over time into more modern day.
Again,
like,
at what age were y'all doing this? At what age were y'all doing this?
That may be more like
middle school.
Yo,
a little closer. Yeah, that may be closer to like Black People Meet or something like that.
Hey,
yeah.
And shout out to the first true and people. I wish Black people knew this more. I tweeted this years ago. Now through everything culture, I need to tweet it now. But why don't people give Black Planet the credit it's due?
Oh man, Black Planet used to be the shit though.
Black Planet is truly the first social media site. Like Black Planet was out before MySpace. Name another platform. Black Planet?
I don't think it was out before MySpace.
It was because I used my Black Planet email.
Who said that? Thank you. I remember it being I was a freshman in college. I was a freshman in high school, and I went through. Y'all know what Jarvis College is at?
Yeah.
It was something called Upper Bound. I went through a program called Upper Bound. It's Texas. It's Texas.
Come on, man.
Jarvis is one of the HBCUs in the South. But
okay, cool. Keep going.
And they had a program for high school students where you can go every Saturday, and you have these Black professors teach you, have you Saturday school. They give you like a $50 check every Saturday. Then in the summer, you stay on a campus, and you basically become a quote unquote college student. You stay in dorms, you go to class throughout the week, and on the weekends you go home. But at the end of like the last week of the summer session, you go on this big ass field trip. But if you finish Upper Bound I think if you do it for a year or two, you get a scholarship to that HBCU. It's really the shit, you know what I mean? And matter of fact, I need to talk about that on the show. It's a great resource Black people have. But man, when we go towards with that, they made us make a Black Planet account when I was 13, 14. And Black Planet was more used for like LinkedIn. It was a good networking tool for Black people to use until I think Black Planet is like a dating site now. But Black Planet, they started off as networking for Black people, jobs and stuff.
Mm. Yeah, Black Planet was like the first one where they had like a lot of customization on it. Like that's where I learned my love of like web and profile and online design and things like that. Because Black Planet used to be like legit.
So I'm gonna do some. Black Planet was launched September 1999.
Wow.
September 99.
Wow.
So MySpace is before then.
MySpace, August 1st, 2003.
Damn.
You feel me?
Like, come on, Black Extra.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm like, why do I need to put a little blurb about that shit? See, right? And that's my thing. I come up with these fucking ideas, and I'll listen to Don's episode, and that's me. I come up with idea after fucking idea, and my wife be on it. Do the shit. Stop fucking talking about it. And it's been so many times that I'll say some shit, need to post about the shit, this big shit, and somebody else like 2-3 days later do the shit. I'm like, I missed that fucking shot.
You must have been listening to episode number 2, Brunswick Bank. We hosted with Houston's own Travis Smith of Deep Funnel Bar. And he, I will definitely put y'all in contact. He got on, and one of his last thoughts was, just don't just talk about it, but be about it and just do it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that, so I don't know. I can't get with Twitter. MySpace. I don't think I really rocked for MySpace like that when it came.
I love my top 8 was like.
They need to bring that shit back.
Yeah, I need a top 8 on Instagram.
I don't remember MySpace like that. Like,
but you know what? From an educational perspective, MySpace taught me how to write HTML code. Like I could.
Ooh, look at you with the complicated.
Like I learned how to do the customization. I learned how to do that kind of thing, like techie stuff, as student that I could transition into creating websites and things of that nature. So it wasn't just for bullshit. I learned how to do things that were, while I developed transferable skills, essentially.
And you know what? That's something that I love, because right now, that's one thing I preach over at my campus. I'm fortunate enough to teach at an all-girls campus, so a lot of distractions are not there. But then we have these other distractions that are so heavy. And it's just, I tell them all the time, because I'm really big on using technology in my classroom. Use your resources wisely. Like, you have literally every piece of information that you can think of at your fingertips, and, go use it. So that's, I love that.
And that's what I say, this is the information age we have right now. There's no point for you not to know some shit. And it's like, I understand certain things, but like, it's a website that's like, it's very sarcastic. It's like, basically, let me Google that for you. I think that's the name of it. And basically you send them the link, and it's like, they would go in like a very asshole way and show you. Only thing you have to do is Google that for your damn self. And it's like, you see how easy that was? So we didn't have that when you needed to know something back in the day. You had to go to the damn library. You have to look for an encyclopedia, or you had to use that. What's that system? Was it not the Dewey Decimal System? What is it called? The that card system they had?
Yeah, this is the decimal system.
That's the Dewey Decimal. I heard, man, you had to go through all them damn cards, figure all that shit out, go and find the book, hope the book is there. Yeah. That was
on a different floor.
Was work.
On a scary floor.
Man, and now, and don't let somebody tore the page out or spit it into some shit like that.
Or wrote it in it.
All these things. Man, some nice kids out here. But
I'm about to say, what school did you go to where they were spitting bugs? Man, where did they spit in the encyclopedia?
It's the same kids out here trolling and all that. Them same kids are spitting books. How about
that?
But
I don't know. My kids might not spit in them, but them little silly clowns, little goof troops.
Watch yourself.
You heard me choose my words wisely right there.
Y'all see how she hit that break?
Real quick, my little silly goof troops, right? They will draw some penises. They will write curse words. They will draw like all type of stuff. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, y'all, it's not even that big a deal. Like, but don't let you mention it as a teacher. Oh, that is just, I mean, you said the S word, which is sex. You said the A word, ass. You said anything of the nature remotely having to do with some actual physical, anything. These kids will run from the conversation, but they know about it.
How old are your students?
I teach in a middle school setting.
Middle school? Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they're everything is ooh.
Mm-hmm. And you know what the thing is it's ooh whenever you have to bring it to the forefront. But oh man, like, again, social media, talk about a drug. Wow, like, I mean,
like
I've had parents tell me that they can't make their kid do something because they just want to be on social media. And in my head, I'm saying, I'm actually probably more stunned in my head because I can't believe that is being said to me as, an authority figure, I guess, in their life.
That's probably what I discipline students most often for at my campus. Like, we have a no cell phone policy. Like, when you walk on campus, you put your phone immediately in your locker. You're not supposed to have it at all during the instructional day. You can get it back during dismissal. But the kids need, because it's like they have to be on the phone. And if you try to take it, or they would take the worst consequence. Like, a student went home for 3 days. He would rather be suspended from school for 3 days than to give me his phone.
I had a student try to fight me. Like, legit, she was like, Square pushed me quite a few times. Like we gonna fight if you don't give me this cell phone back.
Couldn't be a teacher.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then, at first I was, because I'm kind of young or whatever, so I'm like, we had cell phones at school, so what's the problem? I didn't like my school's policy at first, but we had a situation to where a female student sent another male student from another school a new picture. And so when the kids got back to school, whoever she sent the picture to at the other school pretty much threatened her, like, I'm going to send it to your friends. They ended up sending it to the friends. The friends spread it around the school, and then it became my issue. And I'm having to have conversations with parents about child pornography and call the police because something you posted on Instagram got out of hand.
Fun fact of the day, child pornography, even if you take a picture of your if you got pictures of yourself when you were 16, 17, whatever the case may be, and you're an adult, that's child pornography in your phone. If you send that picture, they become a federal crime. Your ass can get locked. Now, sending it and being in your phone. All those things. And so you keep these kids sending the news and all that shit. Do not do that shit. That shit will get your ass in some real fucking trouble.
During the investigation, we couldn't even view the picture. Like, we had to ask the student, is there something inappropriate on your phone? We had to confiscate it and turn it over for evidence for the police. And they needed to do it before the students were able to get the phone back. But it was like a really big deal based on something that somebody voluntarily posted on their social media account for a student who didn't even go to our campus.
And put it this way, that's what I was going to get into. Cause I was going to go that social media, it could be good, just like some drugs are good for you. You know, some drugs are necessary for stabilizing lifestyles, not for a long time, but for a short time, perhaps, you know, in moderation. But since we brought that up, social media, as far as introducing them to children, I think that's something, it's a different beast, you know.
What about if you're doing it for business reasons? You know,
for children.
Mm-hmm. Well, I used it in my classroom as a teacher. Like, that's how I communicated with my students.
Yeah,
when I taught high school, 11th and 12th graders who had Instagram. So I would post the test review answers on Instagram. I would send reminders about when assignments and projects were due on Instagram. So I tapped into a resource that they were already using.
I'm a little old school, a little country, you know, because when it gets down to that little stuff right there, I just look at it be a problem, you know, because these kids here feel like they're not emotionally stable to really deal with social media and all the parts for it. Social media is not controlled where many children and many people, not even children, people can handle social media.
But how controlled were we?
That's my point.
How much trouble did we get in without social media? Like, I don't think it's the social media. I think it's the kids. I think it's man. I don't think it's the kid. I don't think you can blame, like, a gun has no purpose or no anything unless you pick it up and actually use it, right?
But if you put it in the kid, but if you keep putting it on that table, knowing that that's a curious kid,
people have guns in their house. Not every kid shoots themselves. What I'm saying is that
it's still influential. It's still very influential. It's very influential. Even if you teach your kid, because for instance, like, I have a social media account specifically for my students. Like, they can't follow my private accounts or anything of that nature.
They tried, I bet.
I'm sure they did try, but are they successful? No, because that's something that I can control very closely.
When your coworkers became friendly with them damn kids and they follow him or her.
I don't follow my coworkers. My professional is very different from my personal.
I'm just telling you.
So
I agree with. I
have like a personal account for my students to follow, and I do like a lot of stuff on there. Like, it rouses them up, it gets them like engaged, it makes them want to participate and stuff like that. So a lot of times I think it can, again, be used for really good, but I mean, no, I still think it's very influential. I think that, I mean, Mike, just in regards to like just saying, you know, how much trouble did we get in? Hell yeah, we got in a lot of trouble. But I can honestly say, like, in today's world, like, it's so much heavier influence with social media. Like, it's way heavier influence.
The influence that you're talking about, and I hear you. The influence that you're talking about was very present. The only difference is that we just didn't have social media. Again, crack cocaine existed when we was kids. Gangs existed when we were kids. Teenage pregnancy. A lot of things that existed that were messed up. You know what didn't exist, though? The information about it. I think we get in just as much trouble as the kids today. It's just that a lot of it wasn't really reported like that. It's not social. It's not social media. It's
But
the
check me
kids.
out.
It's like it's our parenting. You know what I'm saying?
No,
it's not the
because
kids.
I'm a mom, right? I'm a mom, and I'm a damn good mom. I pride myself, and my little princess back there riding with me. So I had a personal situation, right, with my daughter. She started to feel indifferent about herself and all of these insecurities and all this other kind of stuff, right? Based on, so I did some digging as a parent. She on TikTok. And so she has this warped sense of what beautiful looks like based on what she sees. And since I have put up a brick wall, there is no social media. You can play Roblox and that's it. And there has been a big difference in my child since I cut off TikTok and all that. She is a different person.
But how many kids dealt with when we were younger? How many kids dealt with light skin, dark skin?
A lot.
The same thing.
A lot.
No.
But the difference is the access.
Hold on. Let them finish.
How many kids dealt with light skin, dark skin issues? Or how many kids dealt with your hair is this and her hair is this? We all dealt with those issues of self-image, self-love. We all dealt with those issues. It's just now there's social media. The social media isn't the problem. It's the confidence that you instill in your kid. It's the raising of the kids. And I'm not saying anybody's a bad parent. Like, that's not but it's not to say that it's to say that we're not perfect parents. So since we have now social media in certain issues and we've seen our parents parent, now it's time for us to say, okay, I'm going to take the things that were good about the way they parented, and also, too, I'm going to add some nuances to it because we have new things. The things that we had weren't the same things that they had. It was a time where everybody could whoop you in the neighborhood. That didn't happen when I was little, though. When I was little, they couldn't whoop you in the neighborhood. Now, you can't even whoop your own kids. It's just, it changes, but it's not about us being bad parents. It's about us having to update the way that we parent. And again, it's not social media. Again, it's our parenting. We have to put it on us, because if you just put it on social media, then you know what? I mean, damn it all then. Like, let's get rid of anything that's a bad influence.
I see it. Let me try to pull this on in. So, as a previous caseworker at the Department of Family Protective Services, as well as a current guardian ad litem here in Washington, the state of Washington, it's not illegal to spank or whoop your children. It's how you do it and how you discipline them in total. So don't ever let anybody tell you that that's illegal. Then, with the focus on both of you saying, like, it's an extreme. What you're saying, Mike, I can agree with you, but I absolutely see your point of view. And I would say I agree with you. It starts, the core problem is bullying and self-esteem. But social media opens that door where a parent can't keep control of all that. Just like when I went out, hold on. When I went out as a kid, if I had to fight a bully as a kid, I knew physically who I had to deal with. You know what I mean? I knew that. My parents is like, you got to fight, you got to tend to this, you got to take care of that, or they'll go talk to parent. It was one way as a parent that could deal with that. Social media is a whole new nuance. Like you said, you cannot, we got something right now we call going viral. You can't do shit about going viral. Nothing your mama, nothing your daddy, nothing, because you got full troll. This is a psychological, it's a social issue we have now, where me, you know what? I grew up with the hard knocks. If I'm having an issue, if my shit go viral and people are ragging on my ass, I can simply just delete my account. I can turn this shit off. All these pills we see right here, I can turn all that shit off. I can just stop taking them. But when kids, if you start on that stuff and it's implemented, this is what's important. This is what people look at you. This is how people think of you. I can see how you can become affected by that. And we all know, if your parent tell you, baby, you ain't ugly, baby, you beautiful, even as a child, you go back, because the parent is not going to school with you and getting picked on like you are.
But that's what I'm saying. We went places without our parents all the time. We went places without supervision all the time. We were affected. We were bullied at school. We weren't bullied. We may have been bullied by at home. But I'm just saying, we left and was subjected to socializing with other kids. It's the same thing. There's just now social media. We had the same influences.
But we did not have social media, because you know what? The shit I used to get into, I thank God every day it's not recorded. You feel me? The things me and my boys used to do, man.
But that's the only. But see, and you're making my point. The only thing that's different about when we were kids and now our kids is that it's not recorded.
But you're making my point.
We get in the same amount of trouble.
There are certain things in my suburban. My mom moved me from the Southwest to Rosenberg, and there were certain things that didn't happen in my community. I wasn't exposed to certain things because my mom could limit exposure to stuff. My baby comes home and tells me she knows what abortions are and all this other kind of stuff, and that she learned it on the
information age.
So what I think
she learned it somewhere else.
Right. So what I think is that I agree. I do agree with something that you said, Mike, that it starts with the parenting. That's where it absolutely starts, in my opinion, because for whatever reason, I think people forgot that there was a time that we all survived without cell phones. We survived without being at the drop of a dime, being able to contact and do and look up and everything, right? We were able to do that. Now, there's really, in some cases, no reason that your 7-year-old should pretty much have the exact same access to the world as you, based on the devices that you provide for them, right? So I do think, however, though, it starts with the parenting, even if you're trying to do that the right way. And even if you're limiting, even if you're buying those phones that can only download certain things, even if you're buying, putting the time limits and putting the locks and doing all those things to try to limit that exposure of your child, we still can't just like ignore and say that, like, I think it is still important to acknowledge social media just exasperates and magnifies the already images that just with the basics that we had, just TV, so to speak. Like, I was a more chubby girl with 4 eyes growing up. So when Aaliyah came out, like, that's an idol for me because she's this thin and pretty and all the boys. You know, it's the same thing. But now on social media, not only is it just Aaliyah, right? It's Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj and Cardi B and Alicia Keys and all these other people. So
you going into a point that Mike and his brother, I think y'all the one that just did a show about women with these filters and stuff.
Yeah. But this is what I'm saying though. You're saying all of that just because, like, maybe the idea of a singular standard of beauty, like you said, Aaliyah, for example. If Aaliyah was just singular standard of beauty, and you said, oh, she's light-skinned, long hair, she's pretty, she sings, whatever. That's a singular standard of beauty that you were introduced to. Nowadays, you have the luxury of having many standards of beauty. Because it just doesn't say, well, it's Nicki Minaj, because she's on the same internet as Jill Scott. They're on the same internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have the luxury of saying there's different standards of beauty that I can attach myself to.
And that's why I love what you said about the parenting part, because that's where I then agree. Because if your parent, if what you're seeing matches then what you see on this internet thing, then that's where that opens up. And I guess that's why I was agreeing with you by saying I agree. It starts with like the parenting and the exposure of what you're giving your kid, not only with technological devices, right? Like, don't give them anything. But if that's still what they're being poured into just by what they see, then that's going to be what they're drawn to. That's going to be their standard of beauty. If that's what they see you trying to achieve for, that's what it's going to be. So,
yeah, but we saw horrible things all the time. We didn't turn out to be horrible people. It's a choice. It's what you put in your kids. It's the confidence you instill in your kids. You have to raise confident kids. You have to raise stable kids. You have to raise kids with common sense.
And you know,
doesn't play out.
Are you a parent?
We don't.
Yeah, he's a parent.
I'm a parent. I got 2 boys.
2 boys, and I know Brittany has 1 daughter. I don't have any children. I know Drake.
I'm about to say, send me the handbook because it sounds good. Like, I hear you and it sounds good, but send me the handbook because when I had my daughter, I don't have a script of how to raise a confident child. I don't have a script of what it means to raise a stable child. I don't have a script on what am I supposed to do in order to be a mom. I'm doing what I feel like I should from a educated, well-informed place, but I am not the only educating agent for my student. And as a doctoral student, right, that's my life, education. So in learning about the psychology of education, you at home as a parent are not the only
Yeah, but I don't disagree with that. But what I'm saying, I don't disagree with that. But what I'm saying is that the things that we had still could have did that to us. It still could have did that to us. So is it social media or is it the parenting? You know what I'm saying? Because we had the same thing. We could have easily been on drugs. I mean, like, they're just different drugs now. We could have easily been caught up in trying to be meet a standard of beauty. It's just that we didn't fall into that, or this thing or that thing. We could have been addicted to gambling. We have all of the things that we could have been addicted to, but we chose not to. And we chose not to because of the influences that were around us. Social media is no different. It's just no different.
Well, it's big. It's the internet, social media, all these things do play a part. And what you're saying, Mike, it's the exposure is real. 𝑑𝒆𝒓𝒊𝒂𝒏𝒚 summed it up so well on his 2018 stand-up, stating that, you know, when he was growing up, you had to watch everything on television. They had to roll the television in the classroom, and he remember seeing when one of the Apollo shuttles explode.
Man on the moon.
All that he saw, we seen. So I remember. Do y'all remember where y'all were at 9/11? I was in class.
I was in 9th grade. I was a library.
Same here. I was skipping class. I was skipping class, going to journalism class, just sitting in there, and I remember seeing that shit real.
That was my third year. That was my third year of college.
You know what I mean? So, and me growing up, I was at school, I was around other people. Now these kids, they're not around other people. They're not around people that can hug them, not people to love them, not people to see them. You can see everything on social media and on the internet now. I remember being a little pervert, little motherfucker, looking for titties. I used to have to go find somebody Playboy. I used to have to put that effort in. I used to have to go and sneak and do all that. You ain't got to do that no more. I can type in T.I.
Are you mad because you didn't have that access when you were a kid?
It is not me being mad. I'm looking at my little nephews and looking at my nieces, and I'm like, man. Like, and I had to get on my sister. Watch his motherfucking phone. Like what Brittany was saying, she did parenting right. She took her phone away. This ain't what it is. Cut it out. A lot of parents don't do that. They think, oh, it's under control.
She didn't even have a phone. All she had was an iPad, and it's done. It's blind.
The same thing. It's you have access. You have access.
She has the phone now,
and it like once again,
the app, it sends me a text message. Approve or not.
See, my sister don't do that, because now my nephew, he be bucking up to her, you know, and I have to, like, I live miles and miles away, but that's something where it makes them happy. It's not that bad. Other kids are doing it. Fuck them other kids, because Mike, everything you're saying, we're not doing it because perhaps our parents. But guess what? My mother used to let my little brother get away with murder, bro. Murder. You know what?
Oh, definitely.
He was an A student. He did well, but he was bad as shit. And I'm like, if he had an opportunity to have the internet now, he'd probably be making bombs in the bedroom. You feel me? But that's one thing, that access.
And that's my thing. I'm not saying that social media is 100% messed up or bad for kids, but
it's exposure.
Does increase exposure. There is certain stuff that my razor phone, my first pink razor phone, didn't have a camera.
Man,
I couldn't be like,
had Snake
to my ass because my phone couldn't do that.
It had Snake on there.
If I didn't have a camera, who was I gonna send it to? Where was I gonna post it at?
Man, and
like, there was no expo. I didn't even know that if the girl at Madison was taking pictures of their titties, I didn't know that they was taking care. I didn't know that girls were taking pictures of their titties because I didn't have exposure.
Girls are taking pictures of their titties in 2003, 2004. That was going on back then. I used to have Polaroids. Okay, all the things been burnt.
You was shaking titties. Okay.
Live at 5, baby.
Also, too, I think that we are missing the mark with regards to, like, you know, drugs or anything, any kind of influence. It only affects you if you allow it to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it only affects you. Like,
if you use it, yeah. It's like when people say,
I've been in a casino. I've been in a casino before. You know, I'm not a gambler. You know, I've been around alcohol before. You know what I mean? I'm not an alcoholic. You know, I've been introduced to things, and it doesn't make me the thing because I'm around it. You know,
yeah,
you
but
have to
I mean,
decide.
there's so many factors that go into that. There's so many factors that could go into that. I mean, you have mental health, you have environment that just through children's life when they're not in control and they get put into situations like their later effects. Like there's a lot of things that go into that. Is that just can't be isolated to social media? Absolutely not.
And that's a conversation right there.
But then address then the fact that maybe your kid has not a mental disorder, but they have some mental health issues. Right. So it's not the social media.
But I was a kid that tried shit.
But social media is an addiction. That's under a DSM now. That's a fact. This is what it is. And when Mike, you're saying what I used to say all the time. It's like, well, if I didn't do it, why do they? You know, that's something I do it. You know,
they don't do it. I don't think that anybody, like I don't think that social media is any more deadly or anything more than the things that we have.
So question, Mike. You from Detroit, right? You from Detroit, right?
From Detroit, live in Detroit. Yeah.
Do you know any of your classmates on drugs now?
It's a couple.
A couple. And like, do you know any of them are alcoholics?
I'm sure it's some. I don't know any alcoholics. I know I've heard of the drug ones, the ones that do drugs. Yeah.
My thing is, I knew all these things are out there. I knew about drugs, and they knew it too. But the thing of, they have access to it, and some of them are peer pressure into doing those things too. We can talk about even women with their flaws and how they look. People look at me and my partner on my calls. We talk all the time. What do art imitate life or life imitate art? You know, because he think the way of music should change. I grew up on UGK, 8-Ball, MJG, Pimp Tight. You know, I grew up on Tila and all these Too Short, and all these rappers. But I ain't no pimp. I don't want to. I never wanted to be a pimp. I grew up on watching American. What's it? American. I can't even think of the name. But is it American Pimp? I grew up watching these movies and films from. Man, I can't even think of the name of it right now. From Fresh, the City of God, all these things, you know. And I could integrate, but my mother, once again, it goes to parent. My mother abused drugs, though. My mother also put me on game how that shit made her feel. I was exposed to a lot of shit at the early fucking age. Like 5, they told me about the birds and the bees straight up. They told me what crack would do to you. They told me what heroin would do to you. I never had that fun, lovey-dovey ass childhood. You feel me? But
you didn't grow up and do drugs. You didn't have kids early. You know, I mean, I would assume you're not an alcoholic. I would assume, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of stuff you didn't do, even though you were exposed to those things very early. So again,
but who exposed me to it though? Who exposed me to it?
It's the person. It doesn't matter who exposed you to it. It's you.
I think it does. No, I think it does matter the person that exposes you to certain things. Just because depending on that relationship, you're gonna have a total different view, especially from a child. If your favorite auntie introduces you to girl on girl action, then you might think girl on girl action is suitable for you, and that's what you like because that's your favorite auntie and you want to be like her. Versus if your dad introduces it to you and teaches you what a man should treat you like because this is the natural progression of what a life looks like for him. Not even in any religion. It's still who introduces you to what. If your dad is teaching you that girl on girl action, that's not what you're meant for. That's not how it's supposed to go. So it does matter what type of influence is introduced by what person.
It does matter for certain actions, but I would agree with it's a nature versus nurture thing. That's something I would be getting on because I look at my little brother. That little motherfucker been bad since I can remember. Since I could remember, like 4 or 5, he's always been mischievous in the motherfucker. And people say, well, you know, my mom treated him different. Honestly, I think it was nothing nobody could have done. He's one of the few people I know in my life that he's a black man that should be in jail. And it's so sad for me saying that about my own flesh and blood, you know, but he will get killed in these streets. It's nothing I can do. I've done everything I can do. I've been trying to protect him all my life. But if he was in here, he has a true talent. If he got paid for pissing people off, that motherfucker will be a billionaire. You think 50 Cent pissed people off? Nah, man, you ain't met the other Drake around this motherfucker. It's like, it's crazy. But but that's a nurture thing. You know, that's a nature thing. Same thing when we talk about homosexuality. Some people do, is it nature versus nurture? If we going by, well, some people just gonna be different. I believe I used to think, oh, that's a nurture thing, but life going by, me going through my profession and seeing things myself, I'm like, nah, I think a lot got to deal with nature as well. Is it different? Yes, but everybody's different if we based off experience. If we basing off experience, or are people just gonna be different than other people then?
I don't think that the sexuality. I don't think that that's a good example of that. I don't think that you can introduce anybody to anything that they're not into, and they do it. They do it without being like, if they're peer pressured into doing something, that's different. But you can't make somebody be into something they're not into by merely introducing it.
I think that
can we talk about prison?
No, I'm talking. Let's talk about the homosexuality.
That's forced.
No, but let's talk about the homosexuality. Like when it comes to kids, like if a child doesn't know what they like, but again, if the influence is heavy in a certain area or another, for instance, a child isn't going to know that physically sitting on someone's lap or certain physical touch and stuff is what they like. But if they see their mom going through that in a healthy way, that may be something. Also, if they see their mom going through it in an unhealthy way, it's going to do something different. If, again, back to the favorite aunt, liking girls, if that's your favorite aunt, them being introduced to it as a child, definitely, I think cognitively, absolutely, it affects them and it gives them different perceptions of what they like and don't like based on things that they were introduced to and how they were introduced to it.
I think that having a favorite aunt that is into that lifestyle would only make you think that lifestyle is okay. And now, if you're into it, and if you're actually into it, then you'll choose it. If you're into it, then you'll choose it. But it doesn't. It makes you less judgmental. I think. So
what age does it become like you choosing? Because to me, it's like it's a teenager. To me, that teenager's not really making that choice to consciously like girls like that. Because I don't feel like they're developed for that yet. But because again, that's what they're supposed to.
But at 15 or at 13, you like boys.
Not necessarily. No,
but you didn't know you like boys at 13.
Okay, so that's me, but I'm saying that other people are more influenced on what they like and don't like based on some things that they see. That's very true.
I agree.
I didn't know that I liked boys. I knew that I was supposed to like boys, but I didn't know that I didn't know whether I liked boys or girls. I just know that I was raised that I'm supposed to like boys, period.
At 13? At 13?
Not at 13. I was that kid, younger, like when I was 8. You like that girl over there. I don't like her.
Yeah, maybe 5. I would understand that 5, but 13 is kind of too old to not know.
But I'm gonna give an example. And people so once again, same thing with social media. We have and media in total. You have shame that can be introduced.
Let me step to the restroom, y'all. I'm about to go to the restroom.
Okay. But I'm gonna come back. Well, I'm gonna keep going. I'll repeat it. But it's one thing, and man, my eavesdropping wife. When I said gooses earlier, I was drunk. I meant geese. All right, but
y'all like my new picture while he gone?
Yeah. I bet what you should look. I don't know what you look like shouldn't matter. What's on the inside? It's like that with folks. Some look like both on the inside and outside. But I digress. I think you need to have one. Let me not say that. But you need to at least have the pretty on the inside. Let me say.
But on social media, this is what it be though. Like you be real. It be trash on the outside, bro. Because your content is trash, and you for real like that's your life. Like you live for this shit. Like
I thought it meant on the inside.
Yo, I might catch flack. I don't even care, but I'm not even lying. Like that whole money bag, like that whole situation with like the baby mamas and the whoever.
I don't be keeping up with that stuff. I'm telling you, that's a flaw
I
of mine.
randomly see it and everything like that. Whenever I think about it, like this picture is an actual representation. Like, sis, like what you're talking about is trash. What you're representing.
Hold on, shit. What I was saying something and I've completely forgot. What was I starting off with? I wish you could replay this shit and I can catch up. But I was making a point. Oh, okay. So shame. We got shame online. We got shame on the internet. We got anything positive. I like, when I said this before, I like curvier women. You know, well, I used to say 200 plus and something to play with. It's something that's me, okay? And it's nothing new as an adult. No, this has been me throughout being a kid, growing up. I don't know what. One day it may click to me, like, why do I like these type of women? But I've never been attracted to slimmer women. Nothing against them, but that's my preference, okay? And somebody played one of Redman's old video, like that clip when old girl hit that bike. She was waving, riding that bike, and she ran into the back of the car. And I was like, damn, I remember the morning that came out on MTV premieres. I remember talking how funny it was, but he also had large women in his videos, and he like, fuck these motherfuckers. That was like when I started saying, hell, he can do it. I can be proud of that. You know, why in the world? You know, the same thing because representation matter, exposure matter. If you see nothing but certain things, sooner or later, even if you like it or not, you're gonna start doing these actions. So, and it's not me, but with children, same thing. You get point. I don't know if you ever watched the show Big Mouth. It's on Netflix. Very explicit show. But it talks about sex and education of sex. It's very vulgar. It talks about shame. It talks about remorse. But shame is where you try to make people feel guilty on what they like. And a lot of people are experts at that shit. But if you like what you like, as long as you're not hurting someone else, is that a problem?
No.
I mean, I just, like I said, I don't see where.
No.
Say it again.
What you eat doesn't make me shit, so no, it is not a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's not hurting me, now can I have my opinion on it? Absolutely.
But it goes into the point where we're going for, as with social media. If I say, perfect example, Jill Scott, perfect example, Jill Scott.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Perfect example, posed by Jill Scott, football player. Talk, why y'all motherfuckers like that? If you went back 20 years ago, you know, if you was, and let's say it wasn't Jill Scott.
That's not what he said. Not what he said.
What did he say in delete? What did he say in delete? Because he was referring to my tweet.
He said,
"Y'all think Jill Scott is sexy?
Y'all think Jill Scott is sexy? Okay.
Yeah, in a very condescending way.
I get it. But he didn't say she wasn't. He just said what he said.
No. Man, I wish I could find her. I should have screenshotted the shit. Because I was like, because I said, man, not only that, she's not only, because I compared my wife and Jill Scott. Then I like, it's all about, and not only that, she has that energy. She's sexy. She got that feeling of it, that confidence. And he's like, oh yeah, that's what I thought. You talking about her energy. Anything, that must be what you're talking about. All right. You obviously, he's trying to gaslight. And you, as men, we know what the fuck you doing. And the thing about it, years ago, and we all grew up around niggas like that. We have. Like, I've had uncles like, don't be with no big bitch. I'm like, nigga, your wife big.
Yeah, we have
what
it.
You talking about? Like, I don't want to be with no evil bitch. That's what you don't want. But you have people with that mentality and mindset. So it's, when we talk about so many, but once again, it's exposure. If and once again, internet can be used for good and for bad. Because like we were talking about all the negative things you can see for the internet, it's a lot of positive out here too. And just like what your kids can do and what they have exposure to, who have access to your children now? That's the thing that I worry about all the time. Because you see on Wayfair, kids getting snatched up and shit left and right. And I guarantee it came from somebody just talking to them, even offering them candy. You used to have worry about people offering us candy and saying no to strangers. Now you got to teach your kids a whole different thing, saying no to strangers online. And these people be hiding behind profile pictures of other kids now. Look at Dateline NBC, one of my favorite fucking shows, To Catch a Predator. That shit started with online chat rooms. That shit started because of the internet, social media and shit.
But you gotta bear in mind, you're asking kids to have the discernment and maturity of adults. I can use myself as an example. It's plenty of shit that my mama told me not to do.
Thank you.
And I did it anyway. As a mom, I'm like, Alana, don't talk to strangers. I get on TikTok, what's she doing? Talking to strangers. Like, there is a certain mischief that exists with children. And the predecessor to mischief is curiosity. And kids are innately curious. They want to know some new shit. And so we have opened up the realm for what they can know. There was limits on the shit that we can know, because we could only know what was in the encyclopedia or what was in immediate, reference to our physical location. It's so much other stuff that kids can know and have access to, and we are all doing children a disservice if we neglect the fact that children are gullible. Children are influential.
Stupid.
They're easily influenced, period. Regardless of what an adult says, children are easily influenced. So you do have to limit their exposure. And like I said, social media is partially responsible for what their influences are. My mama I am completely different from my mom. Dawn can tell you. I cuss like a sailor. My mama don't curse. I got a little hood edge to me. My mama is prim and proper and as dainty as she can be. I didn't learn that from my mom.
But this is what I'm saying, and I'm going back to you. Is it social media, or is it the misuse of social media?
It's the misuse of social media.
So then it's not social media then. It's just like aspirin can cure a headache, but let you take 40 of them, and then that's it. Is it aspirin, or is it the misuse of aspirin? You know what I'm saying?
Because it's like if it's like you compared it to a gun before. Guns don't kill people.
Is it the gun?
People with guns kill people.
Or is it the misuse of the gun?
It's both.
It's not social.
It takes both.
No.
It takes both.
No.
It takes both.
Because this is the thing. If you want to kill somebody, you can do it with your bare hand.
Because guns were made to make it easier. That's the whole point of what the purpose of a gun is, to kill or destroy. That's why they were created. So it's a tool. Social media is a tool, and who shouldn't usually use guns? Children or mentally disabled people. We give.
You're not, but you now it's about you now the metaphor or the analogy rather doesn't work.
It doesn't. That's the point. It really doesn't. With social media, it doesn't.
I'm saying you're equating it to age range. I think that if kids want to be on TikTok, they should be able to be on TikTok.
I'm not even saying with children, because once again, I said children and other mentally unstable people. Because look, like, can we talk about suicide rates then? Suicide, like in the social work that I've been in, internet, and you know how many kids I have to talk to, and it's like that's in foster care, and they're getting bullied online. I'm like, baby, fuck them people. But if you can give me some numbers
that say that suicide rate now is worse than it was when we were little.
Put your email in it. As an educator, I can do that for you. Put your email in the chat. I can send it to you.
And be specific. The increase in suicide rates since the introduction of social media and you can take time every year since it's been increased. Because people would tell you bullying online. Same thing. You have laws that's been created now for bullying. You have laws for people selling other people news and stuff. Were you able to do that before the internet? No, you absolutely couldn't. But you can do that shit now. It's new things come. It's a problem that's new. It's a new change in culture, and you have to change with culture as well. And once again, do I agree? Am I affected heavily about it? Thankfully not. But if one of us became a meme, what's old dude that's on the phone when he was making a call when
Big Sean?
No, not Big Sean. Hell nah.
Okay.
Y'all know the dude, the black dude that he look like he's snitching on somebody.
Oh yeah, with the glasses.
That motherfucker.
The daddy at the red with the red shirt on.
Is it what, the daddy with the red shirt on?
Leaning back like at the football game, like he finna snitch on somebody?
No, it's a black dude. Maybe his shirt is red. He has
he got a stripe. He got like he got on the phone like this. Where the he's wearing glasses.
Oh, it's like he got like a polo shirt on.
Yeah,
he got like a polo shirt on.
It was from one of the elections, like maybe 8 to 16, 8 to 14 years ago, and people find him, still take pictures of him. He said it's hard for him to find work. People, it's like that's a real thing. People are so scared to become meme and become viral for the wrong reasons. When you ain't, some people trying to become that, but it's one thing about the people in a fight. It's one thing getting a fight in your neighborhood and to lose, but you get a fight in your neighborhood and lose. Now it's on World Star.
Yeah.
It's on, you the one got your ass whooped, by like, and everybody knows about it. It's one thing being bullied by your neighborhood. Or my sisters then were talking about that woman that was at that graduation at that church, and she was large and she fell and broke the chair collapsed under her. It's one thing for a few people to laugh at you, family, friends, and it's a whole different thing with a whole world laughing at you. Yeah. When people in Dubai kikiing at your ass for breaking the chair. Now she's stressed out and, she's depressed because she can't go anywhere without people recognizing her. Is that her fault or is that the internet fault? It's people at the end of the day, but it give you more access. It's a tool to give you more access to people.
But like, you're acting like people wasn't embarrassing people before, man. Like, it's
not to the extent. Once again, not to the extent. It's like having a knife or having an Uzi. Yeah, both can get the job done, but one will get it done way better.
But the kind of person, again, the kind of person that you are, whether you got a knife or a gun, if you want to kill people, you're going to find a way to kill. If you got a screwdriver.
But to the extent, that's the point. We once again, I'm not arguing that fact, but to the extent and how many people you're trying to kill. Because once again, it goes to that. It's simple. Like, it's real. That you coming from the base point, and it's that person. But now we have a tool that make it more widespread. And once again, I think it's important to have that tool, but how do we train people at the base how to better use this tool? And then we get access to so many people. I've been saying it, tweeted for years. I don't think people with mental illness and shit should have social media. But if we say that, that's a problem. Have y'all heard of the girl Peaches?
No.
Anybody? Do y'all know who Peaches?
I mean, that's
y'all have seen Peaches. If you've been online, you've seen Peaches.
Who is Peaches?
She make disgusting videos. If you know, she's a light-skinned, large African American woman that has mental delays. You won't know that because she's out here on OnlyFans and shit. She's on MySpace, but she don't want to be twerking in front of people in restaurants, pulling like flashing folks, flash kids. Peaches is slow. And the thing about it, I ain't gonna look it up. Y'all take the time you want to. Y'all can Google it. But
I'm gonna look up Peaches.
She's a perfect example. She's a perfect example of how social media can be used. So, because at the end of the day, you have you can look at the basis. It's people, but when people have more access to this resource, they're gonna use it for extreme good. They're gonna use it for extreme bad. But think about it, people that's in between, neutral, they're gonna have access to everything. In some countries, and I don't agree with like China and the other countries limiting access to the internet, because that's why I would say even with her. But it's a true thing. How could we do it? And kids becoming more
bad. Like Instagram will delete your shit in a minute. You'll get put in Facebook jail quick. So if it wasn't this bad thing,
for certain people, because once again, that shit is being. Why are you showing Peaches?
Let's watch Peaches, y'all. Let's take a brief 57 seconds and watch Peaches. This is the first thing that popped up. This is Peaches.
Okay. Nah, she be making like, she be trying to go viral for the wrong reasons.
Is this a children's playground?
Yes. She be saying she killing her kids. She be she's an evil person. Like she's a delayed person, you know? Like I feel this is like APFs to me. Like cause something wrong with the girl, you know? Cause this is nothing. This is very minor. This is very minor right here with her.
Very minor. But this is what a lot of people are doing though.
But that's the point. Look how people are rolling just to become famous for the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And they see people like Kim Kardashian. Oh, only thing I gotta do is say some crazy, suck a dick, you know, fuck a celebrity, you know, and that's the way it goes. And that's, trust me, it's a social experience. Go ahead.
Are you like, you think that really, like, that kind of person is not, it's not social media. They're crazy. That's actually, they're just crazy. So they would have been crazy 20 years ago. If that's the simple thought process that you go through in your head, all I need to do is just do what she did, and then I can be. If that's your thought process, of which, again, there are people who thought that way, if that's your thought process, it's not social media. You would have found anything. You're crazy already. Y'all making it about social media. It ain't about social media. Like, social media is just there.
And think it's a good idea. The kids not crazy. They just gullible. They're children. They're curious, they're mischievous. So what about those kids who view those images and feel like that's acceptable? You
gotta use Aubrey Graham for the same example then, because he did it and he said it. He said that's not him. All the shit he was doing is saying I was faking it, doing it for the gram. He said that shit until he made it.
You talking about the guy with the tattoos on his face?
Aubrey Graham, the one that like owls and shit.
What's his name?
It's like
Aubrey Graham. The individual from Toronto, light-skinned fellow.
You talking about Drake?
Yeah, I was
that individual.
First of all, because as soon as he said it the second time, I just had to make sure, because you know how. See, you're playing too much right now.
But he said all these things. Everything he came out.
What did he say? What did he say?
He was faking it to make it. He was faking it to make it. He was doing things that really wasn't him until he made it to a certain point.
Faking it in what capacity? Because we can't just say faking it to make it and then compare it to somebody crazy who is saying, oh, Kim Kardashian did this, so I'm just going to do this on tape and do this. Like, they're crazy.
Did it make Kim Kardashian crazy then?
No.
No, I do feel what Mike is saying.
Just a girlfriend.
I feel what Mike is saying in that sense. Like, Drake faking it till he make it, but he had a goal. He was doing it with a purpose. Like, this is
these people have a goal too.
No,
look at Jackass. Look at the guys who did Jackass. They were doing all this shit,
my man. Drake is talented. It's different. He's talented.
But he had to get attention. He had to get exposure.
What did he do? What did he do to get exposure? Tell me what he did. Tell me what he did that was just so outlandish to get exposure. Tell me. Other than put out music.
If he's lying about what he's saying in his music and people believe in the shit, that's not being true. I gotta be outlandish.
What part was he lying about?
That's not outlandish though.
I don't listen to Aubrey, so go listen to his first album. He said all that shit in there I was lying about, from the jury to things. Many other rappers do it too. But when we talk about on the social medias, once again,
you can't tell me what he was lying about, because it's not a
he
thing.
Said it. Don't put it in my mouth. He said it out of his mouth. What's the disconnect? He said it.
Okay. Then what did he say he was lying about?
Go to his first album. Once again,
I got all his albums.
So what you saying to me? But are you so you arguing with me saying he didn't lie when he said he didn't lie about nothing?
I'm not saying that he did. I'm saying give me something that is like I'm lying about.
The jewelry, the girls. What you want to talk about? Which one?
Oh, so he was rapping about jewelry when he didn't have jewelry.
Use that, cool. Use that.
So I mean, I'm saying, so let's say that is a thing. To you, that's crazy as thinking I'm gonna come out with a sex tape and then be famous.
I say it's on the same level. I don't consider that. I don't consider neither one of them crazy.
Okay, I think that I can't have that conversation with you. If you don't see those two things as different, then I don't know how I can realistically have that conversation.
Did they work?
You think
the question is, does it work?
When you think that somebody is rapping and they're talking about jewelry that they don't have, and somebody actually looking at Kim Kardashian saying, I'm going to do exactly what she did, put out a sex tape, and then be famous. If you think those two are the same thing, the conversation like that. There's no conversation there because I can't have that. How do I have that conversation with you when you're saying that? That's not the same thing.
The question is, do you think people can influence others to do things to become famous? That's what I'm trying to get at.
People can influence other people to get famous?
People can influence others' actions to get certain goals. Let's say that.
Of course. But I don't think that's a bad thing. I think when used
and that's what I was saying. Drake is doing it. But how many other people doing the same thing that Aubrey's doing?
That's not. How many people doing the same thing that Aubrey's doing? Okay. I don't think it's the same thing, though. It's clearly not the same thing. Like, it's just not the same thing. It's like if I influence you, if I influence you to eat better and somebody influences you to snort crack, they're clearly different, right?
But you making my point. We getting there. It's different. But how would you influence? Since we never met, you influenced me through online connections, through the internet, correct? We have people called social influencers now, which we all could be one day through the internet. So when we talk about all these things with these kids are dealing with, you're going to be influenced one way or another by the internet. Go ahead.
But you can still, like, there's always going to be good influences and bad influences. That's
exactly.
What I'm saying. It's not, it can't be, but it can't be that it's like, I don't like when people make it about this era when it was just as bad. It's not worse because we didn't have anything
more
recorded.
Exposure.
But I, you know what I like? I like that now that we have more exposure, I get to see, and the world gets to see that cops actually beat black people up.
Agreed.
But my question is, you saying it was worse. So you mean to tell me that the kids, how they bully now, was the same kind of bullying we was getting in the 90s and the 2000s?
I would say bullying was hell. I would like, because you can watch Lean on Me and all them movies people that make.
So you mean to tell me that this is the same kind of bullying?
It's a different type of bullying. It's a different, because look, would you rather have to fight your bully or you have?
It built a new level. When it came, it built a new level. I can honestly say, working in an all-girls school, I can honestly tell you that there's a lot more things that children are able to do with bullying online than they would be able to do if it weren't there. So yes, I think that is not the same.
Okay, so I'm gonna use
the culture
my own
is changed. I agree.
So I'm in my boyfriend's phone. I noticed that he got in the text messages. I'm being nosy. He got an old text message of his ex-wife's nude picture. Right? I don't like her. So the petty in me is like, shit, I'm not even to argue with you. What I'm finna do is say this nude, and if you play with me, I'm gonna post your shit. Which one is worse? Back in the day, we would have just had to fight.
I mean, she could be missing teeth, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? She could potentially be missing teeth.
Ass on the internet, I bet you, if you would ask her, she would want to fight.
But that's against the law, though.
She post her butt naked picture online.
Don't do that. It's against the law, though. Don't do it. It's against
I mean, I can't do my senses.
If you want to play the smart, because she played the smart way, I'll just sue your ass and keep it moving.
Listen, but that's what I'm saying. It's different. Like that's what I would rather fight you than you have some incriminating information.
These kids don't fight no more.
Text messages or some shit.
Kids don't fight no more.
These kids
all they do is
bring their mama with them to fight.
For instance, y'all see that fight? Y'all see that fight when that little boy, them little kids jumping that girl with that little baby, and that little boy kicked that baby in the face?
Where?
No.
It's on Twitter. It will be on Facebook next month.
I'm not.
Okay?
Not
next month. Next month. That's funny.
Share a screen and I'll show it to you. Let me see.
So that means that it's gonna be on Instagram in 2 weeks.
Yeah, but that's an example of, once again, it's wrong. Now people are talking about that little boy needs.
I think y'all are arguing manifestation. Like it's the same thing because it is bullying. It's the same thing because, like, for your example, whatever petty thing you were gonna do, you know what I mean. But it's like if fighting her in principle is petty, so is. You know what I mean? So is sending on social media. As far as
so are you saying that it's black and white? That there is no gray area, but because it's petty or it's wrong, it's all wrong, or because it's bullying, it's all bullying. There's no spectrum.
I'm saying that you could probably say getting into a fight would be better than, you know, her having her body posted on the internet. I don't know how she looks though, but I don't know that she would care about that one more than fighting, or fighting more than
so it's subjective,
having her body posted on it. Yeah, so because we don't know who she is. All I'm saying is that it's just a different manifestation of bullying. It's a different manifestation of petty. But you're talking about knives to guns. If you want to be petty, you're going to be petty. If you want to kill somebody, it doesn't matter if you have a screwdriver. You will find a way to kill somebody. But that got to be in you. So it's not the thing, it's the person. I keep saying it's not the thing, it's the person. Because it's only
but it creates a different opportunity.
Right. And influences matter. Just because, like, as an adult, right? Like, oh, yeah, perfect. It worked. Oh, no.
Okay, let's see what's happening. Once again, this is with online people recording.
Oh, no, the little baby.
Graphic.
Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off.
No, this is what people do, and this is how the internet exposes us to these things. So if you're a little kid seeing this, how would you rationalize this?
Oh my God!
I'm from Detroit. As far as like seeing
my
stuff,
thing,
like I mean,
and then let's go what these kids gonna read the comments, the state. How you feel about this? If you're not around your child and your child seeing shit like this with their friends, because once again, we saw all type of shit with my friends, but when you see shit like this growing up to that level,
right?
You can see. I remember I saw the R. Kelly video at school with my homeboys and shit. That was R. Kelly in that video. They'll tell you that right now. But it's certain shit you don't see, and it's like, man, now these kids seeing all type of shit.
We got libations in the studio because of these conversations.
Once again, let me stop the shit. But if you look at all, you got white people talking about Black lives don't matter because of this, kill the little nigga who killed the baby, bitch, all this shit. And the thing
in the comments,
hold on, do I need to show it again? Like,
are you fucking serious?
Because people, once again, and this is what people see. This is what people have, and this is people reacting to it. When I say I agree with Mike, I agree. People is the access to people, but you don't have to see people so much. You usually have the opportunity to turn people off. Back when we were growing up, you don't have to see all these people. But when all this stuff and people,
are you serious?
Like
you can turn off social media if you like. It is very possible for you to turn off.
But when you go viral, you cannot turn off social media. It extends.
You can turn it off. That's the thing. People act like your phone has to be like, you can actually just say, hey kids, we're going to the park. Put your phones away. You know, what are they gonna do? Beat you up? You gonna punch you? We going to the park.
Not in my house.
I've had my purges of like social media where I've just like completely gotten off. Like, no, like I'm enough is enough of the fuckery. Like, I'm over it. Like, so yeah, but that is.
It's true addiction.
I feel like he should get the death penalty for doing that. Like,
my boyfriend brought up like a legit question. I mean, a legit comment. He was like, he works in construction, right? So of course, construction workers from the helper all the way up to the superintendent, they make $100,000 plus, and they have a no cell phone policy at the construction plant. And what they doing on their break, pulling their phones out. It's not just children who are addicted to social media. It's all of our ass. Or the fact that Don has said that I have to do a purge from social media. That is, if you have to fast from something, then that is like, if you have to go to these extreme lengths to rid yourself of something, then, you know, you really have to start thinking about it like from a different lens. Like, why are you jeopardizing your 6-figure salary because you want to check Instagram?
It's only a problem if you're losing important things because of it. It's like when they were talking about I don't know if all of y'all saw the Jordan documentary. It's like when they were talking about Jordan and his gambling. It's just like Jordan's gambling $36,000. Now to me or you, that's a lot. Nobody just gambles $36,000. But for Jordan, considering his Nike contract and all the other endorsements, that's nothing. He's not.
Now, can I say a name? Can I toss a name out here? Was it Antoine Fisher or was Antoine Walker? Antoine Walker. What happened? Look at you. What happened to Antoine Walker?
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to him. I mean, they gave him back life because he's an analyst now. But again,
hold on. Let me tell you, ladies.
Relative to you losing something, that's the only way that you can tell me that it's a problem. But just merely because I'm on social media, I've never had a bad interaction with somebody to where it affected. You know what I'm saying?
That's you, Mike. That's you.
This is what I'm saying, though. This is what I'm saying. It's a choice. It's how you engage on social media. You know, the idea that somebody could say, "I'm just over it." Like, yeah, you probably misusing it a little bit. I mean, with all due respect.
No,
absolutely.
Because look, I'm empathetic to the people because, and when we go back, Antoine Walker, NBA player, made millions of dollars. Millions. I think he got one NBA championship, if I'm not mistaken. One of the people he started hanging around with was Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was a big influence to Antoine Walker. And it says in Jordan's documentary as well, Jordan will make your ass gamble, bully the shit out of his teammates and other people. Am I lying by anything yet, Mike?
The bullying people into gambling? No.
Okay.
That's not what the documentary. At least that's not what the documentary said. But yeah, I mean, you go ahead.
But all in all being said, Antoine Walker, and he said he went broke fucking around with Michael Jordan. Went dead.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, I think it's a 30 for 30 for Antoine Walker. People ran.
It's not. The 30 for 30 is not about Antoine Walker. That's you talking about the one. It's called Broke.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's not about Antoine Walker, but it's
called
not about
Antoine Walker.
And Antoine Walker's in it, expressing how he went broke fucking with Michael Jordan and his gambling habits.
He didn't.
Right?
I don't. You're gonna have to show me that part. I don't remember him ever saying that. I don't remember him ever saying it.
This man, you need to be in law school, player. You need to be in law school.
He played for 3 teams. He played for 3 major teams that he played for. He played for the Celtics. He played. I think he played for Dallas, and I know he played for the Heat. I don't remember him being around Jordan like that. Now he was, you know what I'm saying, because they used to go to hoops. You know, the gym that's in Chicago. And I don't remember him ever saying I was messing around with Jordan and that's why I'm broke. That didn't happen. That didn't happen, dog. There's no way that happened. You got to give it to me, though. You got to show me.
I'm going to spell Antoine Walker. Let me
Jordan got me messed up because he did get broke. I mean, he back straight now because they got him on TV. They got him as an analyst on I think on ESPN. So he back all right. But you know, win some, you lose some. It's still choice though. Jordan couldn't bully me.
So wait, I have a surprise for someone in this group. Right fast. It'll be great.
Thank you, Don. Thank you, Don.
Did you take it off?
Real fast. A little guest appearance right fast.
Is it?
Oh.
Whitney.
Hi, Whitney.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, what's my law school buddy? Well, no, you finished, right?
Yep.
Hi, sister.
Oh, shucks. Hold up now. So everything culture, you know my line sister?
Yeah.
What? What a small world.
Very small.
Hey, sister. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
Your dreads are getting so long and beautiful.
Hold on, y'all sisters? Or y'all line sisters?
Line sister.
Okay.
Us 3 are line sisters. We line sisters.
Period. The gangster case.
The gangster case of our mind.
All day.
So anyway. Well, that's a small world. How do you guys know each other? Don't tell me I'm not. No, I'm just playing.
No. But no, I was at my friend Ansley's house and she's married to my homeboy I grew up with in Beaumont, Brandon. And then Brandon happened to be over there. And so I met him in Abden there. And so ever since then, it's like, oh, y'all cool people. So
I know Brandon from U of H. Artist?
Mm-hmm.
Or artiste? So
Gotcha.
Go back.
Okay.
So she was around right when we were like boosting everything culture a little bit. think she was at my going away. You was at my going away thing right at the with the truck cast. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like small. Everybody know everybody. 6 degrees of separation.
Right. So I just want to take a brief intermission and everybody just shout out any of your business handles, social media handles, your business brands, any marketing and representation. I'll start us off. This is Concrete and Blossom Podcast, where we create change through conversation. I'm your creator and host, Dawn the Doll. You can find me on all social media platforms at Dawn the Doll spelled out and Concrete and Blossom Podcast.
All right. Love it. Ladies.
Okay. Oh, me. Okay, I'll go. My name is Brittany Ford. I own iTeachWeTeach Educational Services, where we promote transformation through education. On all social media outlets, I am iTeachWeTeach. Website, iteachweteach.org. I also am the co-owner of the 𝘂𝒂𝒏𝒚 Apparel, where we are the king of tees in Houston. So for all your embroidery, screen printing, and other needs, social media, the 𝘂𝒂𝒏, online, _Greek-squad.
All right. I am Mr. D713 with Everything Culture. That's a thing with an A, of course. We are a podcast started in Houston, but we're in Houston as well as Seattle, Washington, but we're all over. Our purpose is to share our traditions, backgrounds, beliefs, as well as learning others every week, I would say. And we try to bring different guests on each week to learn, once again, the culture and why we do the things that we do. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Everything Culture. And you can find us on Twitter at @everythg culture. And holler at us on Sundays at 7:30 p.m. Central, where we do our community happy hour.
It be lit. Y'all join us.
That's kind of fun. All right, it's on me now?
So, yeah.
All right, Mic Perkins, MIC like it should say up under my face. It's Opinions I Like Podcast. It's ORL Podcast on Twitter, and then it's Mike and Vince Perkins on Instagram, and Mic Perkins on Twitter as well. And the podcast is just me and my brother talking about whatever subject we come up with next, or a book, or anything that we just feel like is important at the time. So like that.
Awesome. We need to be representing our law firm or anything like that. If y'all need these legal services, I'm doing
Well, I currently work at a law firm, mostly doing like defense-based act stuff, and then most civil litigation, but also Texas workers' comp. However, what is in the works is my firm, and I am actually purchasing my PLLC tomorrow. So look out soon, coming very soon. Hopefully, the law office of Whitney T. Joseph will be in effect.
Listen.
Yes. Well, y'all make sure that you post your. Well, I have all of y'all's information. I'll make sure to post in the description. So y'all make sure y'all check out our description to see all of the handles, all of the places you can find all of our guest host tuned in tonight. Thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you.
Any of y'all setting any thirst traps lately?
Wait, what?
Yeah, on social media. I'm just asking. I've just thought I might ask before,
Saturday,
you post your thirst traps?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be sure to check those out.
No problem.
Okay. Anybody else?
I don't have any traps. I just be, saved and sanctified, man.
Saved and sanctified? Okay.
I'll be posting good, wholesome content. That's it.
Thirst traps could be used for good content, though.
Mm-hmm.
If you thirsty for
that's why I use them on Saturday.
Okay, see, there we go. For Saturday, posting these thirst traps.
You talking about like Jesus without a shirt on or something? What you talking about? Like, help me out here. Jesus without a shirt on. What y'all want for good content? Man, but this goes back to I was gonna say a long time ago. I was gonna do a social experiment, like with my I'm just gonna post like when I do my videos, I'm gonna start them off with some titties and see, and then scroll over into the real content. Like, see how many people click on it then. Social media for you. Hey, it's all about the clickbait. Really out there. People pulling.
People gonna watch the first 5 seconds of that and then be like, he tried to fool.
Hey, you just gotta start off. People like, he may be talking about something.
or that.
Yeah. Well, I thank y'all for joining me. I only really had a schedule for right at 2 hours. We've been here for right at 2 hours. Y'all, anybody else got anything on social media we got to dive into and dissect for the people tonight?
Social media.
This is part of a series. So if y'all think of anything, hey, we got one more. I need one more for the series. So we can have another dive in. We can, invite some different heads and see what they think or anything like that. So the first part of the season, actually, Everything Culture, Mr. D713 was with us for that one.
Really? That was the first one? Okay.
That was the first one. It ended up being the first one because that was a really good conversation. That was a really good one. We had 𝑙aQuindra Carroll of Eternal Bliss Hypnosis. So y'all check her out. So yeah, it was pretty good.
So you already talked about businesses online, how you talked about OnlyFans, people are starting full careers. Like if they want to be able to do it's almost like the podcast.
Okay, so you said like OnlyFans. Explain this to me because I don't know what that is. I'm sorry.
I just learned about it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
I literally just learned.
Yeah, so late to the game.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm playing.
I'm so sorry. Y'all. Listen,
hey, dude, I be thinking the same thing, man. But some people don't be playing, man. Hey, we Twitter, they don't know. Twitter's really big with the OnlyFans.
Not that I'm subscribed or I do anything in that. But it's like it's hard to not know those things because it's so much a part of the culture. Like it's just there.
That's Twitter, though. I don't think it is big on other platforms that it is on Twitter, to be honest. Because I don't ever see it on Facebook. I don't ever see it on Instagram. Well, that's me.
But now, okay, it is. I guess it is just Twitter.
Yeah, but it's big on Twitter though. It's like to the point that I've said before, I'm gonna hire one of these OnlyFans girls to do my social media. Cause damn, I
sometimes I follow the young lady, and then eventually she got an OnlyFans. I just unfollowed her, man. Like,
yeah.
I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that.
I wouldn't say about unfollowing. I wouldn't even say about unfollowing, but it gets to the point like I like titties. Y'all making it like I'm getting tired of titties now. Like, yeah, it's an oversat. I never thought I would say that. There's an oversaturation of them.
Okay,
like, dang, relax.
Let's take
OnlyFans. OnlyFans is a website where everything culture has OnlyFans. Yeah,
it's like voyeurism. So like whatever that particular person is about, like if they're about
podcast
studying. They're about studying and just wearing something skimpy. Then that's their page, and then you
that's what it's mainly used for. It's like Patreon.
I'm sure.
Like, but we have a everything culture has a OnlyFans, but OnlyFans is y'all think I'm lying.
I get what you say. I get what you're saying. You can use it for different things.
But the way it's used is for people to show their bodies and their acts for money.
So this is porn that you can watch live.
Well, it's not usually live. It's record. It's like it's once again.
It's
a platform. It could be live. This is like it was started like Patreon. Y'all know what Patreon is, right? Oh man, this is where you go to make like we got to work on doing our Patreon. You did OnlyFans, just joke about it. But the thing about it, people, if they wanted to watch your clips, your videos, or to see you live, like they'll go to your OnlyFans. Okay, that's what it's for, and it's mainly women doing it. And you ain't heard this Beyonce and Megan Thee Stallion, which is like I'd go to TikToks when I want to dance, something I may go and make me an OnlyFans. That's why women like. Do you know the increase of women, Black women, that made OnlyFans? And the thing about it,
what they be doing on there, showing titties, and that's it.
So pause. Let me just say this. I want to make sure that you listen in August for sure. If past August when this comes out, then I want you to make sure you go back and listen to our episode where we talk about just that. There's an episode in the Music is Medicine series about Say It Loud. and is really just speaking on if people are using their platform to be promoting the right thing and promoting change or not. Like, what does their music really represent these days? So make sure y'all check that out. And any of you are welcome to host that with me. Just let me know.
I got a perspective.
Okay, great.
Once again,
you know.
Put me in the loop. Put me in the loop, Don.
I got y'all.
See, Mike, maybe I'm just following a lot of people. Like, it's a big argument for it because the thing about on Twitter, it's a big deal. Like, I can't scroll and there's a lot of women out here because women are making money off of it. It's I think I said it on y'all ain't on Twitter. I said it before. I said, man, if I'm able to sell feet pics and people pay for them, I do it in a heartbeat.
Oh, okay. So that's I remember, and that's the first time that I heard of this OnlyFans. Yeah. So he made
judging Brittany. If people like hairy flat feet and you paying me $800 a week over subscribers, put this ring light in the picture. What you mean, man?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
So to be a fan, you have to pay.
Yeah, it's like you subscribe, and that's what we think.
Wait. So in order to get on these people's page to like be on their OnlyFans page, you pay for it?
Like they do just like what? That's why we have one. We'll put out a snippet what we talking about. Then if you want to hear the whole episode, because I'm trying to talk about some more things
over here, so let me catch up. I'm processing.
No, it's okay. What? It's like if you want to have a full conversation, or if you want to see exactly what we're talking about, because we may do an episode where we're talking about some explicit things, okay, some extreme explicit things. That's what I'm trying to get on. If you want to hear more about it, subscribe. It could be $2 to subscribe, $2 a month, $2 a week, or something like that. But you know what? If you get, and that's how these women make their money. It was a big thing because when you selling your pussy for $5.99, but if you have 100 subscribers and they pay that every month, how much money are you making?
Right. Wow.
And there's some that's making like one girl. She said she's already a millionaire.
Wow.
But when I say, see, now she think, and that's how they get them. These girls start thinking. I'm like, man, and
social media is hell of a drug. I mean, it's better than
for my feet. Y'all gonna pay me $5 for my feet?
Man, it's guys out here. I'm not paying you a damn thing for your feet, but it's guys out here for it.
My feet. I never thought.
Like it's men out here for it's men and women
out
here.
All this education, all this debt I done raked up from going to college and getting all these degrees.
And
the
that's
whole time I could have been making money.
And that's exactly.
Selling pictures of my feet could have been showing
live along the way.
And that's something. Hey, hold on. If I say on Twitter, they ask what's something that's describe your podcast in a sarcastic, in one sarcastic sentence or something like that, and I'm gonna read exactly what I put because that's exactly where it's at. Oh, let me see if I can get to me.
Wow, I'm so intrigued right now. Like I've
my feet, I just can't get past my feet.
Yeah, you can throw a little ankle in there.
Hey, Dawn.
Then I gotta charge $5 more for that ankle.
People and you got folks that would say it, but like it's describe your podcast in the most sarcastic way possible. And I said that holiday law, construct, tradition, and behavior was also based on a lie. Get the fuck out of here. That's everything culture. When we start going to detail about what we believe to be so dear to us, and you find out, oh, they were lying about that shit. They were doing it to shame your ass to keep you in place.
What you got up, Mike, about me and my intriguedness?
No, I was just gonna say, just the link, whatever, whatever. Don't even worry about it.
Let me go ahead and get on one of those.
Just send the link. Don't be stingy.
For our girls. Some people have a thing for 4 eyes. So
yeah, like what's the old girl? Like I have the biggest cartoon crush on Velma. She a bad bitch.
From Scooby-Doo.
Well, dang.
You're like Velma thick. Like,
what?
See Mike's face. Mike was like, ew. Like,
but 2 C's.
I'm just saying
this nigga just say
cartoon, but I'm just, it's a cartoon, but it's all good. I don't judge.
Hey, that's all that matter, baby.
Oh my gosh. So
it's a bit much though.
Same thing. They try to shame me about my stockings, and you know what I like.
Ah, man, that's what you like. That's cool. It's whatever you into.
Yeah, and that's what you gotta love yourself.
Right.
There you go. But shit, I'm about to hop my ass on Twitter right now. And tomorrow we're not coming out with an episode. Tomorrow we basically we're gonna try to do a compilation shit of some previous episodes from season 2 so far. So if y'all want
like you trying to say combination.
Man, hey, that drink kick in a little bit later. But yeah, if y'all want to join the show, have a conversation, or you want to join us a Sunday, we're always open. So many more things.
Is your conversation tomorrow?
Oh, we ain't got nothing. We may do another abrupt happy hour on Wednesday, and we ain't got nothing. We're just not gonna release a full episode tomorrow.
When we gonna collab on Choices Reloaded?
Shit.
Next.
We can do that.
And let's get this one down here in this bottom corner. This adrenaline going
Which
right
one? Which one?
Adrenaline. So let me tell you. So one of my very first episodes that I listened to of his, it was recommended, but you know, he just thought my personality would mesh well with the episode, and it was a fire-ass episode. So it's called Choices, and it was about being pro-choice, or you know, women having the right to control their body when it comes to the heavy topic of abortion. So I had I will definitely forward you the link so you can go and listen to the
Yes, I was about to say send them the link. Yeah.
No,
let me listen to this.
Right. You know I'm with the Silent Plug.
Hey,
right.
And I'm gonna say this. Of all the
I be
episodes
having
we've
shit
done,
to say. So I gotta hear this.
Of all the episodes we've done, that's the one that I've said we need to delete that shit. Okay? Put it that way.
Listen, listeners, use your social media wisely. It's an extension of your reality, not a foundation for it. See our episode description below for social media information and to find out more about our guest hosts. Not now, but right now, subscribe, follow, and like us on all social media and listening platforms at Concrete and Blossom Podcast. Be sure to leave feedback and share.
Don the Dog